All right, we want to take you now live to Bern in Switzerland, where the president of the Swiss Confederation is holding a news conference after emergency talks to rescue Switzerland's second largest bank. And it's just been announced that UBS, Switzerland's first bank, the biggest bank in Switzerland, will take over Credit Suisse, which is in trouble. They've been meeting for some time now, since Wednesday. In fact, initially Wednesday of last week, the Swiss National Bank offered a $54 billion lifeline to Credit Suisse, but that failed to reassure the market. A bank which is deemed too big to fail. Well, now the Swiss government announcing that UBS, Switzerland's biggest bank, will take over Credit Suisse. Let's speak to Frances Coppola about this. She's a commentator and economist and is joining us from Kent in the UK. Thank you so much for being with us. What do you make first of this announcement today by the Swiss authorities that UBS will be taking over Credit Suisse? Was this expected?
I think it was. And indeed, I think something like this has been on the cards for a few months now, really since Credit Suisse got into difficulties last autumn. It's been suffering outflows of deposits for really quite some months now. And it was difficult to see how it could be resolved in any way that didn't involve some kind of takeover.
Explain to us why Credit Suisse got in trouble in the first place. Why is Switzerland's biggest bank, second biggest bank, in fact, being rescued today? What happened?
Well, I think really, Credit Suisse's problems go back some years. It's got involved in all manner of deals that it shouldn't have done, like Mozambique tuna bonds, and it lost a lot of money when Bill Huang's Archegos empire collapsed, and it also got itself muddled up in Greensill. And so that not only cost it money, and it's got a lot of lawsuits coming down the road, which might cost it even more money, but it helped to destroy confidence in the bank. And the thing about Swiss banking is that, it's above all about, integrity and security and trust. And the moment you've got things like this going on in something associated with the Swiss bank, you're kind of destroying the brand. So it was difficult to see how it could continue on its current basis with its investment bank, with all these other things attached to it. It needed to find a solution.
It's interesting that you talk about the brand there, because we have the Swiss government saying just now that they consider these measures to be the most appropriate solution to strengthening both market confidence in Credit Suisse and also the Swiss financial centre. Do you think this rescue will work?
Yes, I think it probably will, if only because the Swiss government has a great deal invested in making sure that it does work, and because the buyer is UBS, which similarly has a lot riding on this. Because if it doesn't work, then UBS and the Swiss government, have a real problem with what their financial system kind of stands for. So I think it will work. There's an open question now about how they will handle the investment bank, which is arguably the source of all the problems. What are they going to do with it? Are they going to try and spin it off? Are they going to close it down? What are they going to do with it? I don't think that's resolved yet.
Yeah, Frances, also this is coming as the health of the global financial system is in doubt right now. Last week we saw the failure of two American banks. Are we likely to see a repeat of the 2008 financial crisis here?
No, I don't think we are. I think the problem in America is to do with their mid-sized regional banks. It's largely contained to America. I know things travel on Twitter these days, so things that ought to be contained to America have a tendency to go global. But we should remember that our banking system generally is far safer and better firewalled than it was in 2008. And also that central banks actually are on the ball on this one, both in America and in Europe. We have seen regulators step up really quite quickly to stop any kind of disorderly collapse or contagion. And this merger is happening over a weekend with the intention of it being a done deal by Monday morning so that we don't get contagion into the wider financial system.
Thank you very much for talking to us about this. Thank you for your time. If you're just joining us on Al Jazeera, again, breaking news from Switzerland this year. Swiss authorities announcing that the country's second largest bank, Credit Suisse, which was in trouble, will be rescued by UBS, Switzerland's largest bank. talks had been going on for some days now about the takeover of Credit Suisse, which has been in trouble. On Wednesday of last week, the Swiss National Bank offered a $54 billion lifeline to Credit Suisse, but that failed to reassure markets. And now the Swiss authorities announcing that UBS, the largest bank in Switzerland, will take over Credit Suisse. We'll have more reaction and analysis throughout the evening here on Al Jazeera.